What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to be talking about Pivot's new Shuttle LT. They call it the BLT because they replaced the Shimano EP8 motor with the BOSCH race motor. And it is something. So first things first, I never ride a stock bike. So as you can see, this is all RockShox suspension. So instead of the Fox stuff, we put a Vivid Ultimate on the back. We put a Zeb, it's a 170. This is the 3.0 damper, not the 3.1 charger. I'm gonna drop that in soon. I kinda used the ones I had on the other bikes. So for now, we just have the 3.0. We have the Maven brakes. Have been really awesome. So I installed those on a few of my other bikes, been loving them so far. Have not had any issues. I have not needed to massage the pistons, nothing. They've been great. And I've been using the 2.0 thickness rotors. So paired with that, it's been really good. Has some really good brake modulation. Have a 50 mil 1-up stem, 760 cut carbon 1-up bar. We have the RockShox Reverb dropper post. I use a 170. This is a size medium frame also. We have DT Swiss wheel sets. I actually built this custom rear one. It's a DT Swiss EX511 with a 350 hub. It comes as a mullet, this bike. You can run it as a 29er too. It comes in the high position, which works best with the 27.5 rear, but if you want to use the 29er, you don't have to, but you can just stick it in the low. In the low, it's I think 63.6, something around there, head tube angle. And we have I did a little combination here. So we have 160 length EXO cranks from SRAM, and we got the XX transmission, pretty cool front chainring, 34 tooth. XX transmission rear derailleur, but I do have EXO chain and EXO cassette. I just feel like if you're burning through cassettes and chains, you don't need the highest tier one, but it's still high end, so it still works great. I think the transmission stuff is a must for the e-bikes. It's e-bike specific also, so you get just a better shift and you're not gonna wear through, it doesn't wear as much of your drivetrain out with the transmission versus like a lot of the other stuff from Shimano or SRAM, like the mechanical stuff, or even the old Axis stuff. I am trying the Cryptotol tires from Continental. This is the Enduro. I think it's a soft casing, so just wanted to try those out. I know those come stock on the bike, so I've never tried them. I'm usually a Maxxis fanboy. So we'll see how those go, but so far I did a ride and it was a bit wet. I think it's gonna be a tire that's best suited for a lot drier. Like we're in the Northeast, so right now it's February, it's a bit wet, but I'm not gonna change them out, so we'll give it some more time. So the cool thing about the BOSCH stuff is, first of all, big difference in power output and like what you put into it on the trail. Like when you're riding with, I think like any BOSCH motor compared to like an EP8, you're gonna be flying you're gonna be way ahead of anyone that's on an EP8, but this race motor has a race mode setting. I've only used it up the fire road. It's so strong that I'm not even gonna use it on the downhills, but it blasts you so far, past everyone else if you're just flying up the hill. Right here, it has, it has the settings here. We can turn it on. So it comes pre-programmed. So it has the race mode, but you can adjust all of these settings in the app. So it's nice to use with the app. This is all wireless Bluetooth, so you don't have to worry about any cables running to your shifter or your clicker here. Or also, it's pretty cool what they do here is the sensor for the motor is right here. So it's no longer the EP8. You would have a little magnet on the rotor and it would kind of hit a sensor here. This just, once it hits there, it hits the motor sensor. So just a lot less to go wrong, I feel like, on the BOSCH system in itself. So before this bike, I was on a Yeti SB160E. So they're both pretty much enduro bikes. This is 170, 160. The Yeti 160E was 170, 160. This actually, which I found out kind of after the fact, is this is a lot longer of a wheelbase for a size medium compared to the Yeti. So I'm interested to see, for stability reasons, going faster on the downhills, if that's something I'm gonna notice. It probably will be, but right now it's kind of hard. The weather conditions aren't as good, so it's a little tricky to get the full rundown on this bike on how it feels. But so far, just on what I rode, it feels great. It wasn't bottoming out the suspension. DW Link is proven. You know, it feels really nice and smooth going through its travel. I do love the RockShox stuff a lot better than the Fox stuff. I've had a lot of problems with the Fox stuff in the past with 38s and some of the Float X2. So the Vivids have been great. The Zebs have been great. I've never had any malfunctions or had to do any crazy rebuilds besides like just the general service. So that's a huge benefit. I used to run a lot of the Hope Tech stuff, but I don't know, I've had some issues with some of the newer stuff. The Tech 3s, I think, are a lot better than the Tech 4s. I said that in past videos. So just wanted to actually try out the Mavens a few months ago. I loved it on, you know, the Specialized Stump Jumper S-Works. I have another, the Switchblade with it. So they've been great. Haven't had any issues with it. So again, gonna give them a long-term review, but it's been a few months that I've been using them. So on some of the other bikes. So we'll see how that goes. Also, we had ride wrapped. I feel like that's a must almost. Like I used to never do it. I used to use, I can't even grab it. I used to use helicopter tape just to like slap around everywhere, and it would look really sloppy. I just didn't care. But then we reached out to Ride Wrap. We became a dealer. We started doing installs, and it just looks so much cleaner. So it's nice, like you spend so much money on a bike. Just get it done. If you want to do it at the shop, you can always stop by. We'll do Ride Wrap installs for you. But yeah, I just think it's awesome. Like again, you get full tailored protection, and you can just get other parts from them too. You don't need to do the whole bike, but I mean, it's a grind to do the process. It takes a few hours, but you know, you might as well just do the whole bike. Just protect your investment. Helps the resale value, but also just like, there's some science behind their wrapping also, so it helps with scratches and just added protection with rocks flicking up. So it is awesome and it looks sweet. So this was just kind of more like a bike check of this bike. The conditions right now aren't the best, but hey buddy, this is Konya. The conditions right now aren't the best, so I want to get some riding clips on all these bikes we're doing videos on starting in like March. So it'll be a little bit more amusing content, so I apologize just for the bike checks, but just want to show off. I think it's a sweet bike. I think if you're in the market for an e-bike, I think the stuff you want is like, first of all, look into the motors. You kind of really want like a Bosch motor or a Bros motor. The EP8s, like all these companies are switching out EP8s for Bosch or Bros. You're gonna start to see it probably with, you're gonna start to see it with a lot of brands. You're seeing it with Pivot, you're seeing it with Santa Cruz. You're gonna see it with a lot of people who are currently using Shimano still. Start to use these other motor brands like Bosch or Bros that you see on Specialized or like SRAM's Bros system. So, but yeah, I think it's a sweet bike so far. I just got one ride in, but I can kind of tell like it's gonna be a slayer for the e-bikes. I think the full powers are great. They're heavier, but this one actually, I run the rebound a little bit faster in the rear. Already e-bikes are so stable, but I feel like with their weight, but I run the rebound on this shock a little bit faster than usual, so that I can just J-hop and have a little bit more poppy of a feel, so it's not too much feeling of having to lift a bike. You get that added little bounce in the back, so I think that's pretty sweet. But yeah, another thing is all the pivots are Super Boost besides their cross-country bikes, so it's, you know, there's a lot of people who kind of sometimes hate Super Boost, but I think it's a great system. And also I think if you're building wheels or trying to get wheels, there's always discounts on Super Boost wheels and products. So, you know, like this hub was on sale. I used the 350 hub, so it's awesome. Like you can get some pretty sweet deals. So again, don't let that stop you from snagging a Pivot. It's a sweet brand. All their other bikes are amazing too. We're gonna have a video of their new Trail Cat coming out also. We have one of those in the shop, so that'll be pretty sweet. But yeah, we'll get some riding clips of this. I have some GoPros. We'll get some GoPro footage and some other clips in March with this bike, and we'll kind of do a long-term review again. Just want to showcase what new e-bike we'll be riding here for the season and doing content with as well for a few e-bikers or just normal mountain bikers. and just product reviews. Again, I kind of want to do a longer term on the Mavens. They've been great so far. And you know, I think having the rock shocks on the pivots, I've been switching them all out with the Fox stuff, is a great little upgrade, at least for me if you love rock shocks. What I did with this build, so Pivot doesn't offer a frame only option. This build, we got the, I believe it's the SLX XT build. So all the builds, no matter what, come with the race motor, which is a plus. You don't get a downgrade in the motor or the battery. Some brands, they downgrade the motor and the battery. This, you get the race motor across the board, but we got the SLX XT option, and we just I had all these parts for my 160, tore all that stuff up, not up, but we tore it off the bike, and then we put all of our custom bits out. So if you're gonna do a frame up build with Pivot's e-bikes, just get the lower spec component one, and then you can just swap out all of your stuff. Like what I did was, you know, grips, bars, stem, brakes, wheel sets, everything. Like we did put, these are 160 millimeters also, but yeah, it's all custom. So no need to get the highest tiered spec one with all the components I'm gonna switch out. So just, again, they don't do a frame up option, but just get that lower spec tier one with like SLX XT, switch all your stuff over, and then, you know, you got yourself a pretty sweet bike. But yeah. Like and comment down below. Let us know what you think. If you have a Pivot Shuttle, the new BLT is what they call it with the BOSCH. Let me know what your thoughts are on it. We're keen to have some feedback from you guys as well. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.